Beneath the ground of a modern village near Gobekli Tepe, archaeologists have uncovered something that nobody expected. A 12,000-year-old carving of a man stood between two leopards, grabbing himself. Welcome to Sayburç. What makes this place interesting is that it's not some hilltop sanctuary like Gobekli Tepe. It's something stranger. Sayburç is the first and oldest known shamanic village. This is where ritual was a part of daily life. The carving found here is not just art. This is an initiation, a myth compressed, giving us incredible insights into the mysterious world of the ancients.
This is Urfa man, and he was found near Gobekli Tepe, and he dates to around that time. And you can see he has the same triangle necklace. And this mirrors the greater imagery on the T-pillars found at all the Taş Tepeler sites. Also the leopard and the oryx. This is imagery found at both Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe. And the exaggerated phallus ties directly to Karahan's pillar room and the fertility symbolism. Göbekli Tepe's oldest layers date back to around 12,000 years ago. The youngest layers of these sites seem to be around 10,000. So we're looking at the span of almost 2,000 years where the same symbols repeat. The triangle necklace, the bulls, the leopards, the phallus, and the T-pillars. This is not a coincidence. This is a shared language of myth running for thousands of years in these villages.
These people were not even farming yet. So fertility was the literal symbol for survival or extinction. The penis was a sign for future generations, and the mystery deepens with the dead. I have something very interesting to show you. Come with me. Hello from Sayburç. Wow, this is incredible how much work they've done here. When I came here, this was just a village. This was all covered underground. Look at these gigantic enclosures. Let me show you my favorite parts. Right now, the archaeologist right here is excavating a small skull room. Human skulls were found here. Look at all these bones down here she's cleaning. We'll hear about this in a few weeks probably. But there's also another skull over on this enclosure. But this one seems to be a few right here. This was not unique to Sayburç. Across the Taş Tepeler site, Karahan Tepe, Sefer Tepe, Gobekli Tepe, the same pattern repeats. Modified skulls. What archaeologists are discovering here is a widespread ritual system, a shamanic cult of death and fertility. If archaeologists are right that Gobekli Tepe really is the first temple, then this is the oldest known organized religion, dating back 12,000 years or older.
This is one of the rare example of the primary burials.
Say hello to Dr. Elim. She's a legendary archaeologist leading the excavations here at Sayburç. I hope to see her name in history books because the work she's doing here is so incredible. So let's ask her some questions. Are the skeletons in domestic areas or do they seem to be placed in ritualistic areas?
No, they are in the dwellings.
In the homes?
Yeah, they keep the...
Are they building on top? Kind of like in Çatalhöyük, how they would be underneath the floors?
Probably. But, yesterday we found a skull. There was a hole on it, and our anthropologist thought that it is a yara,
Trepanation.
not trepanation, but the reason for the lady was dead.
A blow.
Oh, like she was hurt, like an injury?
Yeah,
Okay.
injury. Yes. And he also said that one of the long bones was broken when she alive.
Okay.
But it was just preliminary observations. He will do more further. This is the one of the rare example of the primary burials in bottom, and the upper part there are secondary burials just clustered. But the bottom, you can see a lying person as a primary burial.
To these people, these weren't just bones. This was the social glue that held together the tribe.
And on top of it, there is a niche. And again, in the niche, the bones are visible, but we didn't excavate it yet. This is also interesting because the mostly found the burials inside the dwellings, but this buildings looks like different from the dwellings, so it is interesting to have human bones in it, in the niche.
Okay, so let's have a quick recap for absolute clarity. Here at Sayburc, excavations uncovered human skeletons hidden within the houses themselves, with one exception of a communal building where a skull was placed carefully into a niche cut into the wall. This is our first clear pattern that emerges. A single skull placed in a niche, while others are placed elsewhere. This is not unique. Over at Navale Chorai, skeletons were placed beneath the house floors, often without their skulls. At Gobekli Tepe itself, archaeologists have found over 700 human bone fragments, including mini skull pieces. Some skulls were carved with deep grooves and even drilled through. Some of the pillars over at Gobekli Tepe show headless human bodies with vultures. And just next to Karahan Tepe, we find Sefer Tepe, and this takes it a step further. An entire skull room was uncovered there, from infants as young as 6 months to adults around 40. And this wasn't a massacre. This shows that this was a long-term ritual practice that spanned generations. And within a special wall niche, one skull was placed carefully on its side. The picture is starting to come together. Could these special niches be important members of the tribe? Or maybe this was just the most recent person to pass, getting their honor. Either way, the head clearly had spiritual significance to these people. Let's briefly return to the carving at Sayburc. A man stands between two leopards, his genitals exaggerated. And to the side, another figure standing over a giant auroch with a weapon. In many hunter-gatherer traditions, the passage into manhood meant facing danger, sometimes even confronting the most feared animal of the land. For Neolithic Anatolia, that predator was the leopard. But here's an idea. Shamans around the world wear the skins of predators, believing to absorb their spirits. To wear a leopard pelt was to invoke its dominance, to become half human, half animal, the master of the threshold between life and death. And this idea of facing or wearing the predator is not only here in Anatolia. Among the Maasai over in Kenya, young warriors once proved manhood by spearing a lion and wearing its mane as proof of courage. So, it marked the moment a person stepped beyond the ordinary, either into adulthood or into a shamanic identity. Just a side note, leopard bones were found here at Karahan Tepe. What makes these Taş Tepeler sites unique or interesting is that this is before cities, before farming, before written language, before the wheel, and yet somehow hunter-gatherers built megalithic temples alongside their domestic settlements. It's so impressive how they carved directly into the bedrock like that. These people, this is clearly like generational artistic mastery. How long were they here? You know, the lowest layers give us an idea, but it's also already established in the lowest layers. It's already like artistically developed and culturally developed and has signs of complexity at the earliest stages.
So inside of the building, there are a lot of grinding stones and implements And the corner of the house in that part, next to the stone basin, is probably over.
The stone basin's really big.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think they used them for?
Probably for food preparation.
Yeah. With liquids.
Yeah, maybe.
Beer making.
Yeah. Why not from Göbekli?
Yeah, exactly.
And we
But
have
bigger. People like their beer here more than at Göbekli.
Archaeologists found giant stone basins carved into the bedrock with chemical traces of fermentation. Archaeologists believe that these people were brewing a kind of proto-beer. If this is true, this pushes beer making back to at least 11,000 years ago, long before formal agriculture. So instead of farming leading to beer, maybe it was the other way around, that the need for large-scale feastings and ritual drinkings could have encouraged people to domesticate cereals. It was probably a part of bringing the community together through intoxication, because we know large amount of animal bones were found here at Gobekli Tepe, suggesting gigantic feast.
Large numbers of bones, which suggest that there was large feasts for tons and tons of people, probably clans from around the Taş Tepeler trail coming together in celebration.
Another way that this cultural identity was reinforced was by the architecture. I'm going to let Dr. Elim explain some of its unique features.
What about the little weird thing down there, the two little at the bottom? Look it up.
Yes, this is a. We found such things last year in the Göbekli, but this year we found it in situ. I think they are small gate models in Göbekli Tepe, and also here there are gate stones.
Oh, like the
top of
port
buildings.
stones. Yeah.
Like a port stones. So one of the port stones in Göbekli Tepe has two holes. So they are like these objects, but miniature version of.
Right, and they even find the little pillars too, right? The little T-pillars
But
at Gobekli.
it is yes, we have also miniature T-shaped pillars in here. So we found many T-shaped pillars, miniature versions. But this is the second one that we found this kind of miniature portals.
Yeah.
And the other one was in the debris, but it is in the place.
It's
like a window. Or
decoration, or it has an actual function?
It is difficult to say.
Yeah.
I think it's decoration.
This level of artistic mastery does not come overnight. This is generations and generations of knowledge being passed down. Almost certainly, these people had designated roles. Some were stone carvers, some were the healers, some hunters, and some architects. If we were to step back in time and to look at this place, these walls would have been plastered smooth. Right here is one of my favorites because it has this gigantic fallen T-pillar right here with a unique belt in design. Let me show you. Check this out. This might be one of the biggest pillars I've seen. It's definitely close to the size of Gobekli Tepe. Check out this pelt that it has. You can kind of make it out, but the sun is shining on it a bit. This is a gigantic pillar. And just like at Karahan, you see a circular bench with pillars along. And it seems like each of these pillars in the other sites represent people. A lot of them have designs on them like you see here with the hands. See the hands right there? And the arms. So they're like anthropomorphic artistic expressions. Actually, this one's one of my favorites right here because this has a design I haven't seen at any of these other sites. This little squiggle right here.
It is very well visible how it slides down from the T-shaped pillars. And most of the T-shaped pillars in that area has like arms and felts and sometimes pelts in front of it. But it is not a rule, we have human-shaped T-shaped pillars in the dwellings, or we have T-shaped pillars in the other building, for example. There is no decoration, so there is no rule about it. And also we found T-shaped pillars also in the dwellings, but only in the central one or two in the next to the wall. This arrangement is special for some buildings.
So here is an interesting little enclosure, and this looks like some kind of plate, and you see a lot of these plates typically where they find human bones, as if it's some kind of ceremonial space or offering space, and this little enclosure is no different. Inside here they found animal bones mixed with human bones, and lots of different reasons why that could be. These people were carving animals a lot, specifically vultures, bulls, leopards, lots of animals that are scavenger animals or animals that would eat dead bodies. It seems like they were doing some kind of sky burial where they would leave the body out, and I believe that these are the animals that would come and eat the body, and they had some spiritual significance because of that. Boars. Gobekli Tepe, they just recently found a boar with paint still on it. So it's possible that these places were painted with red and white.
This boar right here was found just over a year and a half ago. You see that red on its mouth and its ear? That's original paint. Oh, and before we go, just make sure to subscribe to Dakota of Earth for more videos like this, and check out this relief from the Şanlıurfa Museum. This is from the Islamic period, and it was found in the same area, more or less. Pretty interesting, right? Okay, catch you next time.
I just want to say thank you to Eylem and the team over at Sayburc for the amazing work that they are doing. So much has happened since I first came here a few years ago. And I also want to thank Dr. Necmi Karol for his work that he's doing in the greater Taş Tepeler network of these sites. Incredible, incredible things are happening. Our entire understanding is changing thanks to people and teams just like this. So thank you guys. Keep up the good work. We're all rooting for the mystery. See you next time.